Good evening everybody, hello and welcome to OTL Racing here on Twitch for round number 2 of the Sprint Race League on Automobilista 2. So last week was postponed unfortunately due to a few little tech issues. So it's running tonight, 1 week later than scheduled. Whole week has been pushed back 1 week. So yes, round number 2, 2 races per evening. So yeah, should be good fun. We've got 12 drivers with us here tonight. If you're not able to make it, unfortunately, but should still be some decent racing nonetheless. So wonderful little car this. It's another superb Brazilian championship. You see pretty much only Brazilian drivers taking part in. And another Brazilian circuit as well, so called Curvelo short, this layout on here. Curvelo being the track on here, but in real life is called Circuito dos Cristais, I believe. So quite why they can't call it its real name I do not know, maybe a licensing thing. But yeah, it's a nice circuit. It should be good fun for a league race for sure. Hopefully we see some good fighting. So I'm bored with Martin Webb. He had a good first week actually. Had an unfortunate second race, but a decent finish in race 1. Race 2 is a bit unlucky. So we can look at the standings after our first week. Evening Smudge, evening. Evening Cracker. You should see, I can see, my stream's working for me, so have a refresh. Hopefully that works. But yeah, as you can see, Scott at the top of the standings currently after just the 2 races from last week, a second and a first. Puts him 4 points clear of Simo. So he's only 4 points back after a first and third, so wasn't much between them at all. But Simo not here this evening by the looks of things, so yeah, he's going to drop down the standings somewhat. Sharpie in third, a 5th place, first round last week. Followed up by much better results, second in the second race. Fighting Ace in 4th, just had a Paul Cole. Cole not here this week either, unfortunately. I think he might miss next week as well. Esteban in 6th, just ahead of Martin Webb. Mad Mike in 8th, also unable to make it tonight. In the bag, Bud in 9th. And Take It Easy in 10th, another one of our drivers not here this evening. The batch in 11th with RWB Jagged. Rolling Thunder, we've got Lega, hopefully he'll be able to get through. Ah, wicked. No, let's go Cracker. I'd rather you say something in case it is me. So, super duper. Yes, Lega, we've got Admiral Bushido in 15th. Then we have Zvonimir and Bogasaro not picked up any points as of yet. Bogasaro not here tonight as well. But Zvonimir made it this evening, so should start picking up some points for his championship this evening. Be a great fun to drive these. Let's pop into the cockpit cam. Let's go on board with Scott for a little bit. Cockpit cam. So, yeah, interesting motor this. Obviously put in right in the centre of the car. So on this car that's mostly for safety and weight distribution. And yeah, it makes it a fun experience to drive for sure. Maybe a bit peculiar if you're so used to being left hand side or right hand side drive, but yeah, I personally enjoy it. So it makes you worry a little bit if they're doing it for driver safety. It's like, are you saying the side of the car's not very strong? You're just trying to put me as far away from the door as possible. It does have gull wing doors as well, this car, so yeah, not the easiest thing to get in and out of, I'd imagine. If they don't have to keep them locked. So we do not want that camera. Anyways, so let's go on board with Mr. Sharpie. So it's a fun little car. You can chuck it around pretty easily. Pretty easy to control, but to do it quick and consistently, like everything, not the easiest thing to do. So 1:28.2 at the moment, still pole by 1.2 seconds. So you would hope that Fighting Ace and Sharpie have a little bit more in the tank to push on. Let's go on board with Sharpie for a bit through that wall section. Very street circuit vibes around there. So constant little inputs. So it's another fun circuit, plenty of great tracks on here that we're not very used to, haven't done on really any other sims. Apart from maybe Automobilista 1, of course. But yeah, a great car to drive, but to drive it quickly for a whole race, not easily done. You'll see that in the race as well. Saw that last week. That's really what puts those couple who you will see right at the top in the race. That's where they're able to pull away just from that consistency. Not the easiest to get a really hot lap out of either. Still 1.2 seconds fighting. Ace moving up into second. Sharp just fighting the car a little bit. Still hitting the apexes nicely though. So I'll launch it to the line. What does he do? It's a noisy little thing this as well. Buzzes all the way down to the line. So did not. Oh, he did improve. So there we go. So halved that gap just to 6 tenths. I think he's pulling over. He is. So that might be him done for qualifying. Fighting Ace just coming over the line. Did not improve. Still 6 tenths back. So quite a gap. Quite a few gaps between the first 4. A bit tighter in the mid pack. Martin Webb and Bushido still need to get some representative times in. Not really pushing as well as they could do yet. But again, fighting Ace we've seen in a few of the casual nights and assessment races as well. Got some great pace. It's just going to be about putting it down in a race. A 3rd and a 4th last week. So was in amongst it. Was there or thereabouts in both races. Currently in 3rd, so looking like possibly another solid showing this evening is on the cards if we can keep that pace throughout the race. Also not make too many mistakes. Which again are easily done in this car. So down to the line, what does he do? So needs to about halve that gap again to get in and around Sharpie to gain any positions. You know, gains a couple of tenths, but it's not much at all. Let's go on board with the batch as he comes over the line. So he is currently 4th. We'll need to gain 1.2 seconds to jump ahead of Fighting Ace in 3rd. Comes over the line. So does he move at all? Does he improve on his best lap? I do believe he does not. So we've got Magato, Mr. Exterban. You'll see him in some of our ACC leagues as well. 2.2 seconds, just a tenth, or just half a tenth behind the batch at the moment. Svonimir on track, just over a tenth behind Exterban. So those three fairly close in terms of times. Going to within the bag, bud. Currently in 7th. Oh, no, I think he's done. He's back to the pit, so he was not improving. We've got Lega still trying to get a time in. Has some possible connection issues earlier, so his internet's been a bit frail recently. So that mid-pack is where the change is going to happen. Scott's gone a little bit quicker again. I think he's still out, so he's pushing. But 0.622 ahead at the top of the pile. So really looking good on AMS2 as Scott does on pretty much every game. Doesn't take long to adapt. Or with his fairly old sim racing setup. One of the oldest spec setups you'll probably see. Especially amongst drivers who run at the front of leagues. And he is done. So wasn't improving. Sharpie, it's just coming to the line. So that's a lot to ask for. 6.5 tenths he'll need to improve by. He's kept it in, his foot in it, tail the line though. So did he improve? Oh, he did. Look at that. 4 tenths. So, yeah, nearly but not quite enough. Doesn't change anything in terms of position. But he'll be feeling much more competitive after that lap. He'll know he can get close to Scott and maybe make Scott sit up and take notice. You see FANATEC really pushing it, using a little bit of grass. He's trying to use as much valid track boundary as he can. Knows he needs to, really, to have any chance of taking a position off of Sharpie or Scott ahead of him. Needs to gain half a second. Well, more than half a second, about 0.6 to try and get ahead of Sharpie. It's a lot to ask in one fell swoop if he hasn't done that so far. So what can he do? Final corner. Again, looks like he's keeping his foot in it all the way through to the line. So does he go any faster? Just a couple other cars still out on track. Well, again, he does improve, so just under 0.4 off. We've got Zvonimir still out on circuit. Esteban going across the line now. Don't think he improved, I think. There we go, I think they're all done. So there we go, Scott with a 1:28.232. Absolutely superb. Thank you very much, Joe. £5 donation, much appreciated, man. Oh dear, I'll have a chat with you later on about that, but yeah, much obliged, thank you very much. So yes, Scott doing what he does best, but only just in the end. Sharpie getting very close, 0.184 behind in second, FANATEC taking that third spot. Zvonimir with a good fourth spot just ahead of the batch, so feeling much better this week, it looks like, in this car. The batch just ahead of Esteban on the third row. In the back, Bud and Lega on row number 4, Admiral Bushido and Jagged in 9th and 10th, and then we have Ronnie Thunder and Martin Webb struggling a little bit more with the car, but yeah, there'll be more time in the car. They'll probably be that annoying thing where it becomes practice, won't it? Scott cheated. I know he cheats by being better than us. It's irritating. Oh, it's all I can come up with as well, to be honest. I haven't got any other theory, so I'll go with that one as well. So yeah, superb from Scott. Yeah, again, but what can he do in the race? Won't mean anything if he can't bring it home, or at least keep it near the front. I do expect Scott to be able to do that, but these cars, very possible to make a mistake. They're not the most predictable car. It takes quite a lot of input, as you saw earlier when we were on board with a few of the drivers. So there we go. Red lights are up, and they are away. And Scott looks like he's got a handy start here. You see that Sharpie wants to try and move to the inside immediately. Scott shutting that avenue off, though. You shall not pass, and Sharpie will have a go at the inside. FANATEC maybe trying to look for a move in second spot. We have some clanging and a banging further back. Not sure who was involved in it. Malaga might have been one of them. I think he's off at the back at the moment by a bit. Oh yeah, we can hear more clanging and a banging. So some wind, we're going to have some shattered windshields around the place. So it looks like in the bag, Bud. Where's he off? Yep, he's a bit hairy there with Lega coming past. So hopefully he's getting to get it turned around and get back on the circuit. So yeah, not sure if they got caught up with other people's stuff or their own thing. It looks like Bushido as well has made a mistake early on. So a few people having a bit of a nightmare. But he's got going again as well. So let's go back up front. So these front four still fairly close. You can see Zvonimir though going off onto the grass. Did not hold it. And one-way ticket to the barrier. Like I said, not the easiest car to drive. It's so easy to make a mistake when you're pushing at race pace. It's so easy to make those easy errors when you're fighting so hard to try and stay on the back of someone else. You can do that all you want in qualifying and crash it and go out again. You do that once in the race though, and it'll kick you right in the unpleasant mentionables. So end of lap number 1. Scott still hung on to that lead by around a second. So FANATEC ahead of Sharpie, those three nice and clear. The batch in 4th, about 2.5 seconds back. He's got quite a nice gap back to Zvonimir though in 5th. Jagged just behind him. We've got Martin Webb in 7th. Looks like Ronnie Thunder is pitted as well. He's maybe retired, I'm not sure. Esteban down in 8th, but again still going. We've got Lega down in nuts. A few of these drivers obviously we saw have their issues. No, Ronnie Thunder is coming out of the pits. Good stuff. And in the back, Bud a bit off the back. Oh no, he's off on the gravel side. Would suspect he might be completely done. Oh, unless he had a tech issue there and had to get it rejoined. He's going to get that car out of the way pretty quickly though, as they are about to come round. So yeah, clearly he's been having some significant issues there. So the leaders coming through. Lap number 2. Oh, evening Visa, evening. Thank you very much for the follow. Toge Ilmaz 86, thank you very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm not too bad, Visa, not too bad, are you, man? Always enjoy this, big fan of AMS2. So yeah, enjoying streaming the races at the moment. Smaller grids, but they'll build up over time. It's just nice to be able to get a league going. Evening, Rogers. Zach, I think, if I remember your name correctly. Yeah, sorry for disappearing very quickly just after you joined the voice chat. Yeah, had to come and get all this ready. But I hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good day so far. So yeah, on lap 3, Scott. Within a second, Zach or Rogers. Fair enough. I'll flick between the two probably. Owen's fighting ace goes round. Will Sharpie be able to get past him though, or is that going to become a bit of a bus stop? No, he did get past, and fighting ace had a bit of a nightmare. He wants to get that turned around there without having to reverse, and can't blame him. Not the nicest place to have to get it turned round. So like I said, it's good to have pace on here, but to be consistent with it, pretty difficult. Which is why Scott is 3.6 seconds ahead. All on his own. Actually, no, it's more than 4 seconds now to Sharpie. I think he might have had a bit of an off there in the gravel. So he's no mug, but 4.5 seconds back. So like, they're not that easiest car to drive. They're great fun. Even on controller, for someone like myself, they're great. But yeah, to not make those mistakes is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, me too, Visa, me too. Really looking forward to that. Something slightly different. Bit of BMW 235i should be good fun. Slight change from the obvious DTM's WTCRs. Obviously, we've just done the WTCR. This will be our 3rd season after the DTM, so it's been the 4th season overall. So it's been nice to not just go straight back to the DTMs immediately, but I'm sure we will in fairly short notice. So Sharpie's trying to do what he can to close back that gap on Scott, but yeah, struggling to see out a 1:30.19 on that last lap compared to the 28.8 from Scott. So that shows you that. Scott's going good guns and just being consistent, not making any mistakes, which is a hell of a talent to have, let's be fair. Like I said, he's on quite an old setup, but it's one he's so familiar with and he's been using for so many years now that I think he's just very comfortable with it. He knows exactly what it feels like, how it should feel, and yeah, I think that sometimes you don't need the most expensive stuff. That's alright, no, Visa, don't interrupt. No, I'm not. I'm absolutely want to hear the more people to chat with in the stream chat, the better, man. I don't want to just yap to myself over the race the whole time. So yeah, nothing to be apologised about. It was great to drive it. It was great fun to watch that as well, Visa. Absolutely superb. Love those cars. So close the whole time, those cars. So close. Not sure about the last track, Oschersleben was a bit of a difficult one. Looked a bit more scrappy than some of the other races, but yeah, it was still very good. Really competitive league as well. So much pace throughout that grid. So yeah, really enjoyed that. So Scott, end of lap number 4, 5.2 seconds clear. Oh, Balkan drivers on me, yeah, Mr. Rolling Thunder and Zvonimir, yeah, so Thunder being Serbian, I believe. Let's get this correct. And yeah, Zvonimir being a Croat. Yourself Kosovan, if I remember correctly, Visa. Cheers, Smudge. 27 months. Really appreciate that, man. Much obliged. But yes, a lot of drivers from that part of the world. A lot of sort of Central European and going towards the sort of Balkan area. Eastern European countries. So many drivers. It's awesome to see. They're always pretty quick as well. You do find those countries, I think Race Room has quite a penchant for fast Hungarians as well. I think there's quite a thing about that I've seen online. A little bit of a cut there from Sharpie. He's just trying to push it hard. The game will allow you a couple of those. Well, I think it's actually the limit is to 10 on this, so you do get a bit of a leeway in terms of mistakes and cutting tracks and whatnot. So just over 7 minutes gone in this race. Still just under 8 minutes to go. So yes, tried to cross Sharpie and Scott's name there to make them sound like one person. That'd be a hell of a driver, that would be. Although at the moment Scott doesn't look like he needs that. All off at the front on his own. Fighting Ace has caught up to the back of the batch again though. Zvonimir still fairly close It's only a couple of seconds back, so again, if those front drivers have any mistakes, it's very possible that you could catch them pretty quickly. Let's go back, just come around the final corner. Jagged in the white and purple car, head of Esteban. Come over to start their 6th lap. And so 21.5, 22 seconds back from the lead driver. Martin Webb, looks like he's pushed forward a little bit. Again, just being a bit more consistent after the first couple of laps. So you don't see quite as close racing on this sometimes. Oh, that sounded fairly... Okay, that was a fairly crashy sounding noise, so I just thought I'd double check nothing had gone on there. Okay, good. That had me worried. Yeah, it's not that easy to drive in a good way though. It's thoroughly entertaining. It's thoroughly challenging. But yeah, you just see a bit of a difference in abilities. It's just you see the time gap from that. But I know that a lot of them are still having fun. That's a good thing with this game. It is really enjoyable to play. Right, let's span. Having a look. Got a slightly narrower entry line, so it's hampering his exit. You can see there he gets a bit more time away. Oh, who's that on track? So that looks like Zvonimir has disconnected. Yep, he's gone. So that's a bummer. What a shame. So obviously the cars going around weren't 100% sure, so they decided to try and avoid him just in case. That's gutting. That's massively gutting. He was on for some half decent points there. So Jagged moves up to 5th, Esteban up to 6th now. Martin Webb up into 7th. Yeah, I've just seen Zvonimir pop up as playing AMS2 again. Steam notification, so clearly he's had an issue there. I think the game has probably crashed on him. Still early doors. It is up a full release now, but it's still got bugs, and it's still something that's constantly being improved. I think it's well worth the investment personally. I believe I can't quite remember what the roadmap is, but GT3 cars. I think a couple of GT3 cars coming out this month. First GT3 cars for AMS2 should be awesome. So three-way battle now between Jagged, Esteban and Martin Webb. We've got plenty of purple on screen. So 5th, 6th and 7th. So just keeping the nose clean. Maybe haven't got the pace of the front guys, but don't necessarily need that if you can just hang around. Ian's Zvonimir. Yeah, I saw that. Found your car as it is frozen on track. So yeah, it must have been a very sudden drop. It's a bit of a bummer. Hey, at least we've got the second race. At least we've got race number 2. Hopefully get back in and get going again. Yeah, GT3 and GT4 pack. Oh, little clash there. Oh, I'm not sure what caused that. Or can he keep it pointing in the right direction? He was, and then he's just trying to put the foot down again while it's on the grass. And unfortunately, the car does not like that. So that's a shame. Not sure if there's anything untoward there. We'll check that later on. I'm not sure. Good Zvonimir. Good stuff. Oh, it's always a bummer, isn't it? The joys of driving online and sim racing. Just one of those tech things you have to deal with, isn't it? It's a bit irritating. Nürburgring's coming out as well this month on an AMS2, paid DLC. So that's the other piece of content that's coming this month. Nürburgring paid DLC and GT3, GT4 pack, maybe just a couple of cars of each. Coming out for free. So that should be pretty awesome. Yeah, absolutely cracker. No, he's a good deck, Zvonimir, always good. Just cracks on, doesn't complain, does his best. That's all you can ask. All you can ask. So yeah, it's great attitude. Yeah, it's a bit. It says, well, I'm gutted. So gutted it went like that for him. Evening, Mad Mike. Evening. A shame he couldn't make it tonight. Yeah, tough old circuit. This not the easiest one on the earth by any stretch. These two having a good fight though. Jagged and Martin Webb for top 5. Ah, nice. Oh, okay. What's your? What is your? God, I've got some really weird noises on that kind. I don't know the way the sound's bouncing off around the circuit there. Thought someone else had frozen on track maybe, but no, thankfully not the case. So which one are you, Cracker? Yeah, I know which one you... Are you Morris or Remco? Hey mate, there's 50 teams, Roger, so you're going to... Either way, you're probably going to find a few drivers. You've got... I'll put it this way: you've got Jardier's racing with. That's a good question, actually. Who is the team? I can't remember all of a sudden. He's running a barrier, so yeah, he's got Valentin Barrier and Jardet racing. Dalking and Van Ommen are on the team. Dan Camish, BTCC driver, he's taking part. Team Dynamics. That's going to be very cool. It'll be great to see how he fares. I know I've seen him doing a fair bit of race for him, and he's very handy at that. Yeah, to be honest, there's going to be so many cars. Like I said, there's 50 teams. So it's going to be it's going to be decent still. There's still going to be people to fight with. It's a very good sort of pro-am grid, so it's not all just really quick drivers or vice versa. You know, it's a nice mix. So you should still hopefully have some good people to fight with. Pretty much wherever you are is the hope. It's all GT3s as well, because there wasn't enough GT4 sign-ups. We cut those, and there's only one driver that withdrew because he didn't want to do a GT3, so that team just replaced him with someone else. And everyone else is still taking part. So there were only four GT4s we had at one point, so we were like, yeah, we'll call that. So these guys still the closest fight on track. Or saying that, Bushido and Esteban, so Esteban with his spin earlier, Bushido back up to 7th. So again, showing that attitude where you just keep going, it pays off. So they're coming around onto their final lap now. Lap number 10. Scott doing what he does best though. Let's go on board with him for a little bit. So he won't have much of this lap to go now. Pretty ridiculous. You find him, he's just been quick at anything once he's back into the groove. Had a bit of a time away over the summer. I'm a big fan of Monza as well. Not done enough in Enduros, which is why we're doing it. I think not many people, everyone does the obvious Silverstone, Bathurst, Spa, Kyle Army now and again. So yeah, not a bit Monza. So there we go, Scott. 129.795 on the last lap, so still going great guns. Is he going to have one more lap? He is, yes. He's so far ahead, he's going to have one more time round. Sharpie has closed that gap a bit, so down to 4.4. So he's trying to push hard. He's gained nearly half a second on that last lap. Would be a hell of an effort though to catch them back up. I think that would be some good going. Unlikely, but hey, if he keeps going and pushes, and you never know, Scott could make a mistake. But you've got to keep going just to take the opportunity if it arises. So I think that's a back marker in front, I believe. Either Rolling Thunder or in the bag, bud. Yeah, I don't know what the weather forecast is actually going to be like for the race itself. I'm not sure if we're maybe going to find rain. I kind of hope not. we had some for Silverstone. If we do, I hope we only get a little bit. Just make it interesting enough. Oh, Ace going a little bit wide. Was that fine? Ace? No, that wasn't. Sorry, that was Martin Webb Jagged. Still very close. Those guys still hanging on to each other. Martin Webb up in 5th though. Be pretty happy with that. On for a top 5. Bushido. Yeah, the last sort of, what was it, hour and a half? Last half hour, it was great. Yeah, it won't be thunderstorm. I say that. I really, really hope. We've seen a few other places accidentally have thunderstorms, so we'll be trying to avoid that like the plague. So on board with Scott, comes round the final corner and takes his time coming across the line, wins race number 1. A superb result yet again from him. Sharpie, good drive from him as well though. Comes home in 2nd. No shame in that. Fighting Ace again, another good finish from him. A podium spot. There we go, coming over the line for the Dutchman. Another Dutchman, as you said. You Dutchmen get everywhere in sim racing. The Batch, he'll be pretty happy with that 4th spot, taking advantage of other people's mistakes. Crossing the line, well done there, Batch. Martin Webb. So can he bring it home? Well, it goes wide, so does Jagged, all bumping all over the curb. Saying that, looks like he's still got a slightly better exit, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get a pull down to the line. Still very close between the two. So Martin Webb and Jagged, 5th and 6th. Good finish from both of them. To be Bushido and Esteban coming over the line. So Bushido takes 7th, just ahead of Esteban in 8th. Legger So we know how to shoot earlier on. Bring it home in 9th spot. And I think the other two, Running Thunder, Running Thunder's having a bit of a nightmare there, off in the gravel. It's like it's sitting there for a little bit. Yeah, so it's not knowing what people's actual names are. Yours is easy, Mike. So they're coming home there. And nice spot, and the other two are already finished. So, what's your first name, Cracker? Are you, which of the two? Which of the other two teammates are you? So, let's quickly put the other two drivers in. So, 128.534 from FANATEC was the fastest of that. 128.534. 10th was Rolling Thunder, and in the back bud in 11th. So I'll give you some updated points very, very shortly. But yeah, it's a cracking fastest lap that from FANATEC. Just shows obviously that mistake put paid to his race. Scott didn't do the fastest lap, but just consistent pace. Remco, so fair enough. Cool. Good to put a name to your username, gamer tag type thing. He's Alexander. Cool. So it's handy to start knowing people's names. You see, there are quite a few DSRT teams, as there were last time. To be fair. So yeah, you have to give me a bit of time to get used to all of your names. There's too many of you to try and remember. So yeah, good first race there. So a few bits and bobs happening at the start. Hopefully nothing dirty or anything. We'll see afterwards. Obviously we'll actually say that. Save replay, just in case. You never know. Lovely stuff. And then yes, we'll get into race number 2. Hopefully Zvonimir will be back in for a grid of 12. So a few not able to make it this week, unfortunately. And then hopefully we'll be back with a bigger grid next week too. Jagger's real name? I did. Can't remember it now though. But honestly, it's a nightmare. Someone like yourself, Cracker, it's like there's no way on earth, there's nothing there to signal what your name is. So yeah, there we go. So off into race number 2. Same again. It's exact same format. So 10-minute quali, another 15-minute race. Click first to start, just so they know I'm ready. And yeah, we'll have another swing at that track. So it's a mysterious driver A. No, it's a lot because obviously everyone on ACC pretty much. I think it's one person in ours that has a one name. Sounds like a username. Well, it is a username. It's not, But everyone else put their real names in. So there's probably quite a few like yourself, Cracker. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was one. You know. So, okay, Remco. Right, so I've got to put those 2 and 2 together. It's not that easy. Oh, it's done it again. It's put me in as a car. Odd. Oh, well, hopefully they'll carry on. It's a nice car, though. You have to do so. I've got a lovely livery there. Well, I'm assuming they'll keep going. But yeah, it's all that fun stuff where it puts me in. This is another little weird bug, I think. We'll get going. I think they'll probably complete qualifying now. I'm sure they've spotted it. I'm sure they'll complete quali. And then hope that my car isn't like sat on the grid or something. But you've got to find these bugs somehow. We'll turn that off as well. So, Martin Webb. So 5th place, so highest finish so far in the season, first 3 races. Okay, let's look at the standings now. Updated after race number 1 this evening. So provisional, obviously, due to any incidents that might be reported. But Scott has pulled his lead out to 21 points. So Simo was his closest rival. He's now down to 4th. Obviously he's not here tonight. Sharpie pops it up into 2nd spot on 83, 21 behind. He's only 4 though, ahead of Fighting Ace, the Dutchman. In 3rd, jumps ahead of Simo now. Paul Cole in 5th, so 4th and 5th not here tonight, so then probably slip back even further. We've got Exeter Band in 6th, Martin Webb 2 points behind him in 7th. Debatch in 8th, picking up some decent points though in that first race, so could push further up again. Obviously 4th in that first time round this evening. RWB Jagged in 9th, got in the bag by 10th. Mad Mike, there you are, you're in 11th. Yeah, this is missing runs early on does hurt very much on the points. Rolling Thunder 13th, Admiral Bushido in 14th. We've got to take it easy in 15th. Zvonimir in 16th. Hopefully we'll get some points in this race. Has not had the good luck yet. And then another Canadian Bogosero in 17th. So a bit of a loud motor these. They're not the most silent car in the world, but it's a great fun to drive. So that central cockpit position it just gives you something. I think it gives you very little excuse. You can't use one side or the other for driving's position, So I'm used to this, I'm used to that. So it's not the lightest car in the world, but there's not that much weight to it. I think it weighs pretty much bang on a ton, this car. So it's not something it's not going to be too heavy to get around, but it's not exactly a mini. But it's got some good get up and go though. This is why I think you see some spinning, because especially if you heat up the tyres a bit too much and you're just getting your foot down too early, round you go. It's very simple, and I think you see quite a few do that, especially in the race, because you're so eager to not let up. You don't want to be, you are trying your hardest to go as quickly as possible, and it's so easy to just put the throttle down again just a little bit too early. And when that happens, you turn into a spinning top. And that's not fun at all. So Scott, provisional pole, again, 1:28.391, extra bang with the timing as well. Sharpie's just crossed the line, only a quarter of a second back, so decent first showing from there. Zvonimir puts in a time at 2. It's gone board with the batch the rest of his lap. So yes, so qualifying for Monza just under 2 weeks away now. So the week before, I think it's I can't remember if it's a 20-minute or a 30-minute quali. I think it might be 20 minutes and then a super pole afterwards for the top 10. Yeah, so top 10 in the main session. Get through to the super pole, and then where they finish in super pole. No, just each team has one car on track. So it depends who you want to... I mean, you can swap as during quali. You can do a couple of laps and then one of the other drivers can swap in and then they can do a couple of laps. I'm pretty sure that's the way. So yeah, just one of the drivers needs to qualify, any driver from the team. So we'll have practice servers up if they're not up already. They'll be up very shortly. There should be a team server and a driver server. Driver server is where all of you can hop in. They are all up good. See, I've got a good team of people that do this brilliantly for me. Sharpie being the one who actually, you can see he's in second in this race. As you know, he does an unbelievable job running all the ACC stuff. And yeah, so team server and driver server. Just nice to have a server where you can test your swaps and whatnot, and another one where you can all just hop into the same car and go all guns blazing, just trying to get your own pace. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Our second endurance, but they're going to be a much more common occurrence now. They won't be every 3 or 4 months. They should be every month and a bit. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And I said Monza, I'm a track I enjoy very much. So we're very happy with. We've got another full roster, 120 drivers, I believe it is. Might be a few more than that. 124 drivers in the Monza race. So yeah, it should be pretty amazing. I do enjoy those enduros. They're very different to a league. Very different. I like that contrast. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we do next. So Scott and Sharpie coming in. So he's up to the pits. Scott's still out on track, pushing to try and improve. And you can see there, it's so easy to get squirmish. Fighting Ace on track. He's actually just behind another car, so where he might be held up a little bit, but that's up to him to find space. Yeah, honestly, well, last time, Zach, we had 42 cars start. We had 42 cars start the race, and I think we had 38 finish. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Like, there was only 4 that fully retired, and they were like cataclysmic damage, or like they had issues with tech issues or like server problems, because the game can still have its odd bugs. But yeah, like 4 didn't finish, so I reckon if all 50 start, which probably won't happen, but fingers crossed, if all 50 start, 40 finish, that's not a bad effort. So they're all GT3, so there's not going to be a class like the GT4 that has like 2 finish. Right, just giving himself a bit of space. Sharpie back out again. He's getting some new shoes on. Seeing if he can get a bit more grip, less tyre wear, less tyre heat. And that's alright, mate. Keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully it doesn't put me on the grid. I'm assuming you guys noticed that leg. You see me down in 13th. I'm not doing very well, see. Oh, saying that, Sharpie. Round he goes. Alright, probably, yeah, that will, yeah, fair point. So will they catch him? Fighting Ace still out on track? No, he's not actually. He's just come back out onto circuit. So yeah, hopefully that just leaves him in the pits. It might mean that the 2-minute ready up thing, we'll find out in a minute, won't we? We've got to know what that bug does. It's a bit weird. It's almost like going back to the lobby and then go back into a race. It's almost like it's forgetting you're a director when you're in the lobby the second time. Or maybe it's not applying it to me and we need to do it again. I don't know. We'll have to have double check it when we come out of this race, see if I'm the director still. Maybe we just need to reapply it. I do not know. Live and learn. Every day's a school days. No, I can't. No, I can't whip. The odd thing is, Joe. Yeah, cheers, Rog. I can't race. That's the annoying thing. I'm still directing, but there is. If I exit, I come out the server. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like a driver when they can spectate. I'm not. This is the director mode. So I can't jump in my car. I can't physically hop in the car. Otherwise, I'd be thoroughly tempted. I'd be rubbish. What? Well, no, I mean I physically can't get in the car. If I hit exit, I just leave the server. So it's a weird bug. Not quite sure what happens, but hey ho, that'll be fixed pretty shortly, I'm sure. I'm just glad to have a usable broadcast mode now. Looks good, looks nice and simple. All the camera stuff at the top, so we've got a nice better view of the cars. So Sharpie coming around the final corner. I don't know if this might have been an out lap. We'll find out in a second. We'll see if he can get it closer to Scott. The car comes out of the pits there. Nope, does not go any quicker. So it's just hard to improve those times. It's 27.983. It's pretty rapid, I do have to say. Considering the fastest lap in the race from the last race was a 28.5. 27.9 in quali is pretty impressive. So I would be surprised if we see anyone other than Scott nicking that. Taking it out of his grasp. But yeah, it's good fun to drive. I would drive it a bit more often. I'm sure I will drive and stream me driving at some point on here, but it won't be a pretty sight, but it'll be funny. Gives everyone else some ammo to fire at me banter-wise, I suppose. And I'll inevitably crash into someone else. As long as it's Sharpie, that's alright though. I mean, we all agree on that. So it looks like Jagged hasn't set a time then, so he's sat in the pits. Hopefully he didn't have any annoying issue. Mr. LeCour. So Scott and Sharpie still out on track. Where's Sharpie? Still going, still pushing. I'd expect he'll only complete his lap if he really thinks he's going to compete. Yes, Ash Gledall, Martin Legg and Joe LeCour. It's going to be good. Going to be good. We've got some really great mix of teams. It should be a really nice Pro-Am grid, I think. So Sharpie yet did abandon lap. Scott abandons lap as well. Sideways. Lovely. Still probably quicker going backwards than I am forwards. Frustratingly. So most cars giving up, I think. Esteban here. I think might have had to get out. Might have had to wait for a car to get out of his way there. Zach Rogers. What does that sound like? Oh, it sounds like Buck Rogers. That's what my brain was. Yeah. There was something in my head going. That sounds like something. So Zamfir. Hold my squash as Joey's underage. Yeah, what's hold my beer? But I said you can't do that. Although technically I don't know what the drinking age is in Italy. If it's less, then maybe you could. Yeah, I'm on my car. Well, this is going to be interesting to see what happens in a second. So Scott does take pole, so just me and Jagger's not getting the time in. In the Bagbud's got a one-place penalty, so he'll pop behind Martin Webb actually. But Scott, yeah, again, just around 4/10 that gap, so kind of similar to race number 1. Takes a great pole with a 1:27.983, so first lap in the 29s tonight. 27s even. But he'll be pretty happy with that. So will he be able to hold that again during the race? I suspect he probably can. We'll be on the others to try and put up a fight early on. It'll be very interesting to see. Let's see if where it puts my car. Is this going to cause some problems? Because I'm unlikely to be able to be in my car and get it out of the way. But if it puts it in my car, I'll just get out of the way and monitor. But if I start rushing for my controller in a second, that'll be why. Yeah, Rogers in bottom gear is Rogers' team. Joe, bottom gear, 179, Zamfir Radu and Zach Rogers. So looking forward to that. So did it put my car on track? Yeah, it appears not. I hope not. I really do hope not. Oh, crikey, that's a... That is a funky name. Paul Boss to Romania. Not quite sure where each word ends in that, but and starts and ends. But yeah, thank you very much for following. Much appreciated. And we are off, and it looks like FANATEC gets bogged down on the line a little bit there, but hasn't lost too much time nonetheless. So, oh yeah, that's going to be a worry. So there is a car on track. Do they know that's there? We're going to know in a minute. Let's be honest, that should be pretty avoidable. That's my car, apparently. So, Scott gets away beautifully. Does the sheer basics that he'd want to do. Just want to get cleanly. Fighting ace, just in behind Sharpie. Debach in 4th. Again, another good start from him. He's looking like he's on some good points tonight. Driver going slightly wide. Has got a start angle to rejoin, but I think they did safely. Debach with Zvonimir just in behind Martin Webb. With Bushido just behind him having a look. Next to Bank. Within the Bagbud. Oh, it sounded like a car's gone round. Oh, carnage. Yeah, there we go. So cars spun in the middle of the track, and yeah, it's all gone a bit wrong from there. So who got involved in that? Let's have a look. So Legger's one of the cars, and he's still getting it sorted out. We've got in the Bagbud. He's getting turned around. Martin Webb. Yeah, it's a bit of a car park here. Don't know who caused it. I'm not sure. Zvonimir's in it as well. That looks like a guilty red car. That does. So if so, there'll be penalties coming his way. Hope not, but we'll see. Yeah, good choice. Good choice, Rogers. So yeah, that would have benefited a few. So these guys are going to have to push now. These guys will have very much have a race amongst themselves. So we're going to have to keep an eye as well. Let's see. Also, did Scott get a drive through? If he's pitting, has he got a drive through for a jump start? And is my car actually on circuit? Not sure. Oh, it's retired. Well, let's see what happens when it retires me in a minute. And they're right, my car hasn't gone very far. So yeah, that looks like a drive-through. So maybe, yeah, I think he might have jumped the start. Wish it had told me, but never mind. Right, let's see what it does to my car in a minute. 2, 1. Oh, it does. Weird. So I can... How? Very odd. Right, anyways. So yeah, now I'm going to monitor. Okay, so now we know that that's definitely a weird bug. We'll report that to Reza. So yeah, cameras are now in a slightly different position. It looks all a bit, it's, you know, all the same. We should still be able to watch the race nicely. So Sharpie holds on to the lead after Scott having whatever happened to him. Sharpie with a 1 second lead over Fighting Ace. The batch up in 3rd now, and with a good gap back to Rolling Thunder in 4th. Jagged just behind him. Scott, you can see there, is now going to have to push. So he's got a 17.5 second gap. A gap he can probably make. He can probably close that gap. Whether he'll be able to do that is another thing altogether, because he's going to have to push. And push like he hasn't been doing so in the races so far. So the chances of mistakes will go up exponentially here. But if he nails it and he puts the times in he could put in, and Sharpie having to pit as well. What else going on here? So have they both jump started? Yeah, I just spotted, yeah. So didn't see any of that info pop up on my screen. So yeah, they definitely got drive-throughs. Naughty, naughty. So voice chat, fair enough. I appreciate that, Roger. Cheers for saying. I just wonder what's happened to them. Both jump starts, I'm assuming. or the game's just having a bit of a moment. But hey, it's going to give a few others a chance at racing. Rolling Thunder, he'll be getting giddy with Delirium at the moment, up in third. So wouldn't have been this high up before, and it's going to possibly make him a little bit nervous. Brings the other guys who had a few issues earlier on back in it though. He's got Thunder in third behind the Batch. The Batch is only 3.5 seconds back from fighting Ace. Jagged is in fourth. Wait, Leg, stop typing and driving. Stop it. And also, evening, Colin. Awesome to see your name as always. Are you watching in person, Cole? Very cool if so. Yeah, you're there. You're sort of grabbed by the shoulders and thrown about. Make it like he's in a real car. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that. You can tell me Matt said he had to do it. Ah, dear. Sorry, I should just entertain myself. I've been nasty. So, fighting Ace. Look at that. It's solidly that 4.1 seconds, taking advantage of what's happened to everyone else. Rolling Thunder. Oh, missed the click there. Rolling Thunder. Still keeping it nice and clean. Doesn't need to worry too much about pace so far, but there's a bit of a train forming behind him, so that's Jagged. Scott somehow has already caught them up and is making moves, so this is Scott on the inside there. You can see trying to get past Jagged, and I think he's made the move back up to fourth. So he isn't really closing the gap up to the front runners. Oh, Jagged want to mix it with Scott. Does make a bit of a mistake though, goes a bit long. So actually that allows Scott through. We've got to be a little bit careful there. He's got a car on his inside. Can get away with a little bit of rubbing on this. Oh yes, back seat to that, yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff though, man. I hope you're all doing well. It's good to. We briefly spoke to him yesterday. It was good to hear you lot are all seeing each other this week, and yeah, hope you're having a nice time. I know it's been a long time for you lot, and yeah, just hope you're all well at the moment. Let's go on board with. So in the bag, Bud, in 8th. It's about 4 seconds back from the cars in front, and he's nearly 10 seconds clear of Martin Webb. Martin Webb down in 9th, unfortunate involvee in that incident earlier on, unfortunately. Legger as well, and I believe probably Zvonimir. I think I'm going to say maybe Zvonimir caused it because he sat there after that and waited, so that would indicate he very much felt guilty for having caused it. We'll see though, might be wrong. Not throwing him under the bus, didn't see what happened. But yeah, either way, we'll have a look afterwards, I am sure. So fighting Ace, again, he's got good pace. He can make the most of this. As long as he doesn't make any silly mistakes, he should be in a great position. And Sharpie, crikey, so Sharpie, really mixing it with these guys. He's getting ahead of Rolling Thunder and possibly Scott as well. Rolling Thunder trying to mix it with them. Fair play to him for trying to. You might as well, you're like me, you don't get on the same bit of track as them every day, so might as well try and fight with them while you can. But Sharpie and Scott back up into podium positions, so that ultimately that pace showing off, or a little bit of a wallop on the wall there. I think that would indicate it was probably Scott, judging by the fact he had to take to the grass afterwards. Oh yeah, all good in the bubble, lovely. All good in the hood now, all good in the bubble. Nice, man. Yeah, it's good to hear you're all well. It really is. I miss racing with you, dude. Hopefully I'll see that again one day. So will the fearsome duo in 3rd and 4th be able to catch Batch? We've got 7.5 minutes. They need to catch 12 seconds. They are quick, but it's about a second a lap quick, so it's not going to be. In the last lap, they were getting held up, to be fair. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. If that gap comes down from Batch to them, you never know. That could actually get quite interesting. You say though, Fighting Ace is probably a bit too far ahead, 20 seconds, with 7 minutes left. So I doubt these two will fight each other very hard now. I'm imagining they will just go hell to leather now and try and help each other catch the guys up front. I might be wrong. They might get really vicious and nasty. It's unlikely. No, I think they'll just see what they can do. So they've done very well to get back up to here. They served their drive-throughs and then they kept pushing. So like a lot of the Brazilian circuits on Automobilista 2, they take a bit of learning. They really do take a bit of learning, but they're really fun to drive. They're lovely flowing circuits. And yeah, there's so many great circuits on here that you don't find in other games as well. Or you find circuits that are on a mix of games, so it's cool to have them all in here. I still recommend people pick up AMS2. I think it's great fun, and it's going to get better. It's only going to improve. They're not going to make it worse. And if they do accidentally make it worse on an update, they will do that. They will fix that. They'll hot fix stuff pretty quickly. They're a great bunch of developers. So it looks like they probably will fight amongst each other now. They have brought that gap down a little bit to the lead, but not by a great deal. Still about 11 seconds between them and Fighting Ace. Bit of dust there from Scott. Rolling Thunder still holding on to a decent position at the moment. Esteban behind him, but he's in 5th. Doing okay at the moment, but again, still, what, just under 6 minutes to go. Jagged, not far back either. In the bag, bud. You'll see he was just in camera shot. Martin Webb, unfortunately, a little bit lonely at the moment. About 14 seconds behind the cars up ahead, and he's about 21 seconds ahead of the car behind. So, unlikely he'll see another car between now and the end of the race, which is it's a bit of a shame. So yeah, still leading the race, Fighting Ace. The Dutchman driving really, really well at the moment. So I'm assuming Fighting Ace is Delors. Alex Delors, I'm assuming that's what you said. Trying to get myself back up and running. Oh, sweet, man. Yeah, I was really looking forward to it. I'd have to drive again with you. I miss those days of us doing the GT3s and you kept catching me up and then you'd spin. I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a fight. Oh, never mind. Because I wasn't quick enough to catch the guys up ahead. But I was quicker than the people behind. And I was like, oh, Colin's catching me. This will be fat. And then you turn and then you span it. I was like, oh, damn it. I just drove around on my own all lonely. Oh, it'd be wicked to see you back on it though. So look at that lead now up to 10 seconds. Yeah, just over 10 seconds now, but still 9.5 between himself in second, Mr. DeBatch, and Scott and Sharpie in 3rd and 4th. They're still fighting hell for leather. Let's go on board with Sharpie. And these are great to fight side by side in. You don't get this great peripheral vision due to that central position. But it does feel very nice and predictable. I say that from my perspective on a controller, so take it with a pinch of salt, obviously. I'm a controller noob still. Probably will be for some time as well. Not we have lost someone there, so that was Legger, I believe. So that might be him road screen. I don't know. It's more likely his internet's just blown up. Well, the way it's been acting the last 2 days. Oh, another glance on the wall there. That's going to have hurt. So that's the second time. Oh, actually, sorry, that was Sharpie this time. So Scott did that earlier, we saw. You hear that horrible thud. Hey, you only had 3 minutes, you big old flannel. Now, you said you're exhausted first. It's not blown off. Yeah. Oh, sorry, mate. I rage quit. I mean, internet went. Damn it. Yeah. Oh well, no points for you. Ah, you only had 3 minutes, you big old swear word. Pick and choose from book there what you want. So, how long left now? Only just under 3 minutes. 11.8 second lead. So, Sharpie just struggling a little bit there. Yeah, 12-second lead. So Batchy's getting closer to these guys, but you're talking again, still 7. Yeah, just about 7 seconds now. I know. Yeah, to be fair, he couldn't have done that either. If he just sat in the pits, like 3 minutes. That's true. Yeah, no, he would have had to actually carry on. We're not that generous, crikey. I know what you mean. I get what you're referring to, just don't worry. But yeah, he'd have had to carry on. So. Hey ho, is what it is. It's a decision he made, and you'll have to live and die on that sword. So Esteban running Thunder down into 6th now, so Esteban did get past. Got Jagged fighting off in the bag, bud, so still some fights going on further back, which is nice. Still battles to be had. Always sounds like there's a crash happening at this corner, even if there isn't, I think. Just a bit of bodywork on the tarmac. This guy's still fighting. Martin Webb's still driving around on his own, poor fella, and Zvonimir having a bit of a nightmare. Don't know if he maybe has a tech issue as well after having had to rejoin for race number 2. Took a little bit of grass on the inside there in the back, but we'll look the long way round. Goes a little bit on the grass there. Going to get past the Canadian note. For Jagged, no, he stays, keeps it in front. Because they're using all the road, using as much curb as you can in the back. Maybe looking up the inside. No, he sits in behind nicely. He pulls out of that move. Doesn't want to hinder him. Right, let's get that word properly. Doesn't want to hinder himself too much. There we go. That by constantly going for little looks. That will just make him put worse and worse lap times in, and that will only harm him. Sometimes it's better to sit in and choose when you go for the move. And just try and not cost yourself any pace. Just make sure you're hitting the apexes nicely. So let's come with back with Scott. I'm curious now to see when we get onto a longer stretch, can he see the batch up the road? So he can do just. So there he is. Yeah, that's the batch. So the gap is not massive. That's 4.2 seconds. It's just come a couple of laps too early because the rate that Scott's pushing at and the lap time that Batch put on the last lap, if Batch is starting to struggle, I mean, it could still get a little bit close. Depends if we've got one more lap after this. So we've got Fighting Ace currently leading. Just seems to have lapped. I think it was Zvonimir. So we're about to see on track in terms of the end of the lap. Just 12 seconds to go now. Looks like the final corner. So will he come across the line before the zero? It's going to be very, very close. Scott is going to really hope here that he gets one more lap in. No, actually, what I think he's done, I think he's slowed down a little bit. I've seen the zero come in. Now, some don't like that as a tactic, to be fair, but he crosses the line. It wouldn't have changed much, but yeah, Scott would have got close, but it's about 2.5 seconds. So it would have been a bit of an ask. I think Batch probably would have held on. Batch coming home in second spot. Well done. Scott in third. We'll still get the podium for this. It's pretty impressive. Sharpie comes home in fourth. Well done there. Esteban coming around the final corner, bringing it home in fifth. Well done to him. Well done, Seb. And here, right in front to bring it home in sixth. So good drive from him. Kept us holders as many positions as he could after what we saw earlier on, and took advantage of that. And Jagger just holding off in the bag, but good fight between the two of them on the final lap. And then Martin Webb, the lonely Martin Webb, will bring it home. And there we go, comes home in. Oh, crikey, it's still giving me another weird view. Odd. There we go. Save replay. Thank you ever so much. Who got the fastest lap? It was a 1:20. Let's have a look. Where's Scott? 28.669. Yep, no one else is in it in the 28. So Scott in third with a 1:28.669. Good lap there. Well done, Scott. Fourth spot was Average Sharpie. We had Esteban sitting in fifth. Rolling Thunder, as I said, again, that's a good finish from him. He took advantage there of others' struggles and took a solid sixth spot. Jagged in seventh. In the bag, Bud coming home in eighth, just behind him. It's a good fight we saw at the end from those two. Martin Webb bringing it home in ninth spot, just ahead of Zvonimir. And then Legat, who unfortunately did not finish the race. Let's just get those put in. And we can pretty quickly see a quick update of the points. So as you can see now, Scott with a 19-point advantage. So lost a few points from the end of that race. Still got a third, but Fighting Ace making good inroads there. He's up to 114. So yeah, just 19 points back. Average Sharpie 26 points back in third. Batch fourth on 69. It's very, very close in that mid pack. Esteban on 66 in fifth. Simo in sixth on 64. So he's dropped back a fair bit. Cheers, Cole. Cheers, man. Catch you later, dude. Say hi to Scott from me. And yeah, have a good evening, man. Martin Webb in 7th on 53, just ahead of Jagged on 46 in 8th. Paul Cole in 9th on 45. Ronnie Thunder in 10th on 39. Then we have In the Bag Bud in 11th. Mad Mike 12th. We have Lega in 13th, just ahead of Admiral Bushido in 14th. Take It Easy in 15th with Zvonimir with his first points of the championship in 16th. And then Bocasero in 17th position. So yeah, some good racing there tonight. So not quite sure what happened to Scott and Sharpie. I would imagine, pretty certain that would have been a drive through for a jump start. Didn't look very obvious from our screen, but yeah, must have been. I'll find out from them very shortly anyways. But yeah, it's a good circuit that. Thoroughly enjoyed watching the racing. It's a challenge, but it looks like a good fun circuit to drive. So next week we are off to the classic Brazilian circuit of Interlagos. So famous F1 Brazilian GP circuit. And yeah, that's going to be great in these cars. I think that should be pretty epic. So yeah, join me then as always next Monday at the same time, 8 p.m. It'll be GMT next Monday because our clocks go back this weekend coming. Yeah, so next stream for me will be Thursday. We have, there we go, it is the second evaluation race for our ACC GT3 League. That is at Zandvoort. So final assessment for the league, and then the league gets underway the week after. We also have on Saturday our official practice, 2-hour practice session for the Monza 6-hour race. So there's a chance I might be able to stream that. So if so, please join me then. That'll be Saturday evening, I think 7 p.m. Saturday evening. So yeah, if you want to hop on and just a bit of a casual watch, we can look at the teams and see who's involved and see who's in the practice session. It'd be cool to just have a bit of a chinwag, have a bit of a chat, and talk about the event itself. That will be, qualifying will be the week after that, and then the race will be the week after that. But yes, as I said, next time I'm on stream will be on Thursday night for the assessment race for our GT3 League on ATC. So do join me then. But until then, I hope you have a fine evening. And yeah, I'll catch you hopefully on Thursday. If not, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.